Good morning, it's Sean Cummings here at the Gourmet Grill at the Uptown Grocery in Edmond, and today I'm going to teach you how to make the old school biscuits and gravy, except I'm going to use some Grand's biscuits just because it's easier and I don't have time for the other one. For our roux, we're going to use a little bit of salted butter and flour right over here. And for our actual gravy, we're going to use just whole milk. I'm going to cook off some Jimmy Dean hot sausage because the flavor is better, salt and pepper. And I might throw a little bit of Tabasco in there, but that's it. That's really all you have to do, and it's dynamite if you do it right, all right? This pepper were peppercorns. I actually crushed those because I think it's much more important to have the flavor of a crushed peppercorn. The trick here is not in the cooking of the sausage, but yet the cutting of it. I want this thing to be in the smallest pieces you could ever have, so you can have sausage in every single bite of your gravy. It really does make a huge, huge difference. Now watch what I'm doing with the sausage to make it smaller. Just rubbing it against the part of the pan and you end up with these great little pieces, and then just keep scraping. Now, at this point, my sausage is done. It's everything I want it to be. And now I want to start with my roux. I'm going to take a little bit of butter and put it in here on a lower heat. And we're going to melt that. And then we're just going to add flour to it and cook it for a little bit so we've got something to mix our milk with to thicken it up. Now, in the meantime, we can kind of get started adding our milk to this over here. The actual sausage gravy, the sausage is the texture I'm looking for. I can't really argue with anything there at all. Some people would just pour this in here. We're not. We're going to use another pot because I have a dishwasher. Now, that's a little over half a gallon. And what we're going to do is bring this to a boil. As soon as it boils, it's going to go all over the stove, so we actually have to watch that one. A little bit of salt and pepper isn't going to hurt anybody. We'll throw that on in. And then look, our butter is on its way. No hurry on that. We'll let it melt on our roux. Now we're going to add our flour. And then basically you're just going to stir this in. Don't do anything crazy. You just want it to not be lumpy, okay? And we don't have to make a brown roux or anything like New Orleans. We just want something to tighten this whole thing up. So we just keep working it like this. And it will eventually make this nice paste that we're going to mix in with our milk to make our gravy, okay? Good roux, good gravy. Bad roux, bad gravy. See, and it all just comes to that paste. In the restaurant business, we use a thing called parchment paper. It just keeps our pans from getting all dirty so we don't have to clean them. Throw my Grand's biscuits on there. I think they're 14 minutes at 350 degrees. But I do want to show you, as you can see, everything else is ready to go. Now, the Corner restaurant in Kansas City, Missouri, it was a restaurant that had what I believe to be the best biscuits and gravy I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm trying to copy theirs. A couple of people that worked there are probably going to watch this video. Might throw me a note or two, but I think I'm going to get pretty close. Side, it's getting ready to come up to a boil. So I actually want to turn it down a little bit right now because I don't really want to stop that, but I just don't want it boiling over. And I've got my roux right here, and we are going to mix these two together in just a second when this comes out. All right, so there it goes. It's going to come up to a boil. It's almost there. See it? All right, before that gets crazy, let's turn it down. And let's just look at our roux. We're just going to do this a little at a time until this becomes thick. And this is where you end up with lumpy gravy. Don't get chintzy on the roux, because we want dynamite gravy. Okay, see, each time I go through there, and I do this until it disappears. We're getting thicker now, and I'm going to turn the heat back on because this is going to thicken up with the roux that's in here. So, getting pretty good. A little bit more, and I can tell by looking at that, that's getting close to where I want to be. So we need to taste it at this point and see if we need Tabasco. All right, try that again, and look, perfect. We're getting there. Stir this stuff, and then we throw the sausage in, and we are going to have dynamite. Okay, now the sausage goes. That is sausage gravy. and it is dynamite. Waiting on those biscuits. So Grand's biscuits are done. We're gonna throw them over here. Little towel on them. And then we've got biscuits and gravy. We'll bring these out and serve them. You can see what people actually think of this stuff, all right? Get a biscuit? Yeah. And still with the gravy and everything. As you normally do it.
I'm getting out of the way here, aren't I?
You're okay. So for these and more recipes, uptowngroceryco.com. Thanks now.